So position risk is something that should be taken into consideration. We already talked a little bit about international sporting officials, and it's because the different types of roles in government have different risks as they can relate to the responsibilities that are entrusted to those politically exposed persons. So with international sporting officials, they in particular have access or influence over contract decisions relating to significant sums of money. These contracts can deal with major construction projects, sponsorship deals, vendor selection, etc. So there's a certain type of influence there. Legislative officials have a different type of influence. They may use their political influence to sway law or policy one way or another. Judicial officials could influence the outcome of court cases, impacting legal precedents for years to come. Family members and close associates, Hugo already talked about. If a person is aware that they are under extra scrutiny because they're a politically exposed person, they may try to conceal ill-gotten gains through accounts of family members or close associates. So that's critical to understand. You can see the different ways that positions can influence. You also want to consider the regulations that adhere to the jurisdictions that you're in. A Canadian bank, for instance, looking at a risk-based approach to PEPs may only focus on mayors, as those are specifically called out in those applicable regulations, and not go beyond to municipal officials on city council, etc. They may only focus on the mayors. Next slide. Or Hugo, I don't know if you have any comments there.
I did. I was just briefly going to mention that we tend to talk in terms of a global minimum standard. Also reasonable to introduce, and again, you touched on it there, Nikki, where there may be some local variations or a regional uplift is required. I think that's a key point as well in terms of whether or not you have 240 different policies for 240 different jurisdictions, or if you have one policy with a number of uplifts. And I think that's one of the things that we're trying to do here, is explain the consistency of approach in terms of these types of positions. And again, we're greatly assisted in the European Union, where the majority of these sorts of figures will be published by each jurisdiction. So we can tell the posts that we're interested in, and obviously then we can work out which individuals fill those posts. So that's sort of a reverse engineered methodology which we tend to follow.